Hi, I'm Kenda Ruth and welcome to The Hero Spouse, where I'm here to answer one of your questions about midlife crisis in your marriage. Today we have an anonymous female left behind and forward moving spouse. Her bomb drop is September 2019. She has an off and on contact type and her husband is a high energy replayer. This is a case where we have talked about how the alienator is exhibiting a lot of narcissistic tendencies. She's trying to insert herself into the life of the left behind spouse, even though there's some geographical distance. She says, my husband is basically rebuilding our life, a little fancier, a little more extravagant, but our life. He and the alienator are planning to go on a family vacation. The hotel we used to go, they're staying there. The places we used to go, they're going there. The city I grew up in, that's where they're going. They're taking our daughter to the Harry Potter world. She and I have been planning to go for years. And in spite of the fact that the alienator and our daughter are openly fighting, our daughter isn't talking with her father. The alienator is talking him out of his responsibilities toward his children. He told me he'd start a new family with no children. He's 47 and she is 26. Isn't midlife crisis about escaping? Why would he rebuild the same life and just exchange the players? Which is obviously not going to work. Okay, well, let's look at some of that. First thing, it's about escaping, but it's about redoing. It's about going back and starting over, and let's change one element. It's Groundhog's Day. I'm going to see if I change this element. So there's an escape, but what are they escaping? He's escaping from, unfortunately, in his view, you. That doesn't mean it's about you. That's what is presenting. That's what he thinks this is about. It's about you and how horrible you were, that sort of thing. And yes, it's an escape. It's an escape from responsibility. Look what he's trying to run away from. And this is a standard question we have. Why do they run away from responsibility? Why do they run away from us when they say we're controlling and run to somebody who's controlling? These are all paradoxes that we find in midlife crisis. So one of the things is very common, this replacement theory, that the alienator will come in and they'll go to the same vacations. There's some logic to it and some things that make sense with a narcissistic alienator as well. So the logic is, well, I liked that place. Why wouldn't I go there? That's what happened with Chuck and his alienator. They went to the place where we regularly vacationed, where it was a very special place to us because we had a getaway wedding there. And he took her there. And he said, well, why I didn't complain so much, I just asked. I was just curious. Well, why wouldn't I? I like it. So there's that. Now, why would the alienator want to do that? Some alienators would be afraid of that. It was like, no, that's where I don't want him to bring up good memories of her. Or it's, I want to cover up the memories of her and replace them. So by taking him or going with him to places that are about you, she is hoping to cover up the memories of you and replace them with her. And that does make sense. I mean, not in a fun, positive way, but that's why. And this is not a uncommon thing. So if it's about escaping, she's trying to reinsert herself. She's younger, so she does want that family and things. And obviously isn't going to work. Statistically, it's obvious, but there are still outliers. So I always want to say, sometimes it lasts but doesn't work. In other words, it can be an unstable, dysfunctional relationship. But does that really matter if it's sustaining? And sometimes it just fails. It fails in the sense that they're no longer together. He's not going to get that yet. It's been 2 years. It could be getting there. It might not be getting there. These things can go on. 3 years is not uncommon, especially for the limerence. But think about what happens when limerence is over. Does a relationship just end? No, now the claws are in. So even after 3 years, that doesn't make it a fast getaway. So what is it for you to do? What it's for you to do is focus on those kids, because your daughter really needs that. She's got an alienator who's trying to separate her from her father. I can't blame her for not wanting to talk to him. She's got a dad who is just trying to escape, and he's trying to escape into the arms of somebody who is instigating and facilitating and encouraging and manipulating and blackmailing him into that escape. She is making emotional blackmail threats against him, most likely, especially with her narcissistic behaviors. She is controlling him. There may be fear on his part, but that wouldn't be a conscious type of fear. It's more of a, don't rock the boat, don't rock the boat. Oh, I have to have her because she's so wonderful and she makes me feel good, because those are what the addictive chemicals are doing. And so she's got him on a hamster wheel, trying to please her, trying to do all of these things. He is jumping through her hoops. How long can it last? We will just have to see. That's the hard part for you, is we'll have to see. But it's all still pretty typical. Yeah, with a narcissistic alienator especially, it is a replacement of you. That doesn't mean it's on his part a replacement of you. If he'd chosen a borderline alienator, you might not see the exact same methods of replacement in that way. Borderlines are a little bit more avoidant of the left behind, forward moving spouse, whereas narcissists, they just want to move in. They want to take over that person's life and maybe even in a way be like that person. So what you're seeing is still normal, or at least typical for the situation you've got. Sorry, but I hope this was helpful, and I'll